Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams, specifically trivia night during the day. And that's because I was too lazy to actually change the thumbnail for this day. No, in all seriousness, what I've been doing is trying to make some of the various things that we do here on the channel available to more people. And so what started out as basically trivia night for the last couple of times has basically been trivia during the day. And so the goal again is to make sure that people, regardless of the time zone, can actually participate in some of the things that we do here on the channel. And one of them is trivia night. And so by adjusting the time from like a Sunday or an evening or something like that, 7:30, which is the time I normally go live, we do some things during the daytime to kind of help folks out so that more people can actually participate and hopefully get involved with the channel. So I think the last three have been during the day. And so we're probably going to switch back to the night, possibly starting next month. So definitely stay tuned to that. I want to start this thing off before I say hello to people here in the room. I want to give a note of thanks to everyone out there that is in the room now or watching this, and or those that have contributed in some way, shape, or form to trivia night during the day. I want to give a huge shout out to Vika, aka Closet Geek, for being essentially a subscriber sponsor of trivia night for the last several months. Brother, I definitely appreciate your contribution to the channel. And then I also want to thank all of those individuals out there that actually sent books in, basically giving me books to say, pass them back to the community. And so some of the books that you'll actually see that are going to be given away are partly books that have been essentially purchased by Vika and or donated by other members of this community. So I want to say a huge shout out to all of those individuals. And again, if you're just here watching and participating, I want to thank you too, because we wouldn't even have a show if people didn't watch, right? So I definitely wanted to make that known, that I absolutely appreciate everyone. And the other thing, I think I just saw someone say something like the Swolgers are growing. We are like so close to 4,000 subs. It is unbelievable. I remember back when it was like 200 people, and now we're almost up to 4,000 people, which is just incredible to me. And I think I mentioned this before. We actually have a shop owner who I met for the first time a couple of weeks ago that basically said, when we get to 5,000, he is going to give us something really cool so that I can give it back to the community. So again, huge shout out to everybody that is in and around what we are trying to do here at Regie Collects. I absolutely appreciate it. And when we reach 4,000 subs, I think I'm going to have a giveaway. And I think I'm going to make the hurdle really, really low because, the whole thing is to give back and not to make people necessarily work for it. But it will be a thank you to subscribers. And it won't be like, hey, come join this thing so you can win this other thing. It is going to be something that is going to be given back to the people that have already been here. So definitely stay tuned to that. So with that said, I want to say hello to Kyler, Felix, Gold Gauntlet Comics in the house. Good to see you. Rye is in the house. Matthew is here. Who else? Ross is here. Tom Garcia is here. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Harry Comics is in the house. Fist of Doom. Kwai? I'm not sure how to say that. I apologize. I probably butchered. John's Comics with Kids in the house. How you doing, brother? He is my moderator. And John, thank you for being here, brother. If you can keep an eye on things for me like you always do, I would appreciate you kind of jumping in if something goes awry. So thank you for being here. Chris Barrett is in the house. Chris almost always wins something when he comes. So Chris, it's good to see you. I'll be sending you a couple of books very soon, my friend. Christopher Joy is in the house. It's good to see you. Candy Graham Man, another big time winner. He wins something almost every time as well. Candy Graham Man, it's good to see you, brother. Universe X is in the house. Jason is here. Super Honorable Nephew is in the house. Mr. Comics 89, who recently bought, he's bought a lot of comics from me as of late. So definitely I want to say thank you, brother. It would be my pleasure to hopefully send you a couple of other books for free this time. But thank you for supporting the channel in so many different ways. Sith AF is in the house. Big Wheelless has arrived. How you doing, brother? Tony is here. Brett Hess Art is in the house. Victor is here. Just a little podcast. It was good chatting with you earlier today. JM Comics, Matt Gray is in the house. James is in the room. It is good to see you guys. And again, I want to thank everyone for participating in trivia night during the day. All right. So Want to run down the rules for you guys. It is relatively straightforward. Hopefully you had an opportunity to watch the preview, the trivia preview that I did a few days ago, in which I basically showed you all the books that are going to be available. I'll show those books again, but hopefully if you watch that, you were able to write down the numbers of the books and you already have your list in front of you, because that's going to come in handy. So this is the way that Trivia Night's going to work. Trivia Night, I will post into the chat here a question while simultaneously reading that question out loud for you guys to be able to hear. Whoever provides me with the fastest correct response will be deemed the winner. Now, lag is a real thing. So on your side, you may see that you responded first, but I can't control that. I can only control what I see here in the room. So whoever is the first person that I see here, that person is the winner. That person will have an opportunity to pick 2 books from a stack of books that I'll show you in just a few moments. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick one of the books with a blue label, and if available, one of 3 mystery books. So some might assume that the mystery books are all like killer books. They may or may not be. So there is no guarantee that if you pick a mystery book, it'll be a winner. There is no guarantee. And so you'll have to decide, do you pick 2 known books or do you pick 1 known and 1 unknown book, right? So you'll have 2 picks. If you are the first person to respond with the correct answer, you will tell me when I ask you, which 2 books do you want? You will tell me what numbers and or letters you want. I will set your books aside. I will bundle things up. And after the show, or even during the show, you send me an email to regiecollects@gmail.com with all of your contact information, your screen name, and a reminder of the 2 books that you selected. I will then package everything up and mail it out first class mail to you just as soon as I can. Everything goes out Gemini shippers first class mail. All right. So hopefully everyone got that. And if someone didn't, if you guys can just recap for them, if I can have somebody do that for me, I would definitely appreciate it. But it is relatively straightforward. All right. If you do win, we want you to stay in the room and participate, but not answer any more questions. And I say that because we want to spread the love around. We basically have 7 questions, 7 winners. Each winner gets 2 books. That's the basically the way that it's going to go. All right. So let me go ahead and show you guys the books that are going to be given away. All right. So in each one of these books, as you'll see, actually has a blue label on them. You want to write down the blue number on the tape, so that you can actually, when I say, which 2 books do you want? You can just answer that question for me. All right. So the first book is Detective Comics number 608. And I believe that this was a donated book. So shout out for that. Here is The $6 Million Man, issue number 5. And this is book number 2. This title just recently restarted, I do believe. So definitely a cool book here. I actually picked this up in Illinois when I was there. Next up, The Walking Dead number 192. This is when Rick actually dies. This is book number 3. Here is Commandy, The Last Boy on Earth number 5. This is book number 4. Next up, we have X-Force number 4. This is book number 5. We have another X-Force book. This is number 2. This is the second appearance of Deadpool. This is book number 6. Next up, we have some Todd McFarlane Action Amazing Spider-Man 307. This is book number 7. Next up, and thank you, Closet Geek. He is on it. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Next up is The Amazing Spider-Man. This is an annual number 23. This is a square bound book, and it is book number 8. Next up, a lot of Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man number 81. This is book number 9, featuring the kangaroo. Next up, Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. This is issue number 59, book number 10. Little Nazi down there. Another Amazing Spider-Man number 74. And I think this one was also donated. I think the last 2 might have been donated. Amazing Spider-Man number 74. This is book number 11. This is really cool storyline. If you guys haven't read that, really cool book. And then next up, it is Wolverine number 50. Book number 12. Again, you want to pay attention to the blue tape down in the corner. And then there are 3 mystery books. And Vika, I hope you will participate, brother. I know you're sponsoring it, but as you know, you don't know any of the questions. So here is basically 3 mystery books. They all have a letter A, B, or C. Relatively straightforward. Nothing to look at there other than, some big letters that are illustrated in my poor handwriting. So hopefully you had a chance to write down the numbers of the books that you wanted and or the letters that you want to go after. If you are indeed one of the winners, you will tell me the 2 books that you want. I will set those aside and get those sent out to you. And then as a reminder, if you want to participate in a really cool giveaway, here is another one. This is a book that Go Collect and I are going to be giving away tomorrow. There are videos on the channel, and one of those videos is a thing that says, hey, if you want to win this book, do this thing. So if you haven't yet entered this week's contest, you want to check that out because we're giving away copies of Eternals #1 9.2, a really, really cool book because they're making a movie out of it, but also because it is some Jack Kirby goodness. All right. So hopefully that is straightforward. Hopefully everyone is good to go. All right. Oh, yeah. So a couple of comments there. The goal is US primarily. If you happen to win and you're in Canada, we can make some magic happen. We'll have a conversation offline if you happen to be in Canada and actually guess it correctly. There are things that I've done for the Canadians in the past. So if you are in the US, great. If you're in Canada, we can make some magic. If you're outside of those geographies, it's a little tougher unless you have a mail-in address inside the US. And again, because we're not a big budget operation, we have to cut corners somewhere. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. But remember, lag is a real thing. I will pick the first response that I see that is actually correct. That is the best that I'm going to be able to do. All right. So there you go. Scrolling down. Hopefully there are no other questions. Geek Freak says he's seen all the videos a few times and he missed the code. Yeah, brother, you still have time just in case. Just in case. So if you are in the US or in Canada or have a mailing address inside the US, you are good to go. All right. So I'm looking for my list here of questions so that I can actually cut and paste these into the room. All right. So we have, and here, this is the other thing I will tell you guys. The way that this works is that if you watch the channel, you will be able to answer some of the questions. If you read comics and know your trivia, you will be able to answer some of the questions. If you pay attention sometimes to just popular culture, you will be able to answer the questions. Not all of the questions, but at least some. And so my goal is to try to make it as fair as possible for people. My goal is not to stump people. The goal is to have some fun, give away some cool books. That's the goal, you know? So, all right, here we go. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and sometimes spelling counts. Sometimes spelling does not count. So the first question is, what was the tongue-in-cheek name given to Batman's junk? James, how you doing, brother? What was the tongue-in-cheek name given to Batman's junk? The correct. Oh, there we go. There we go. I don't think you guys were ready. I don't think people were ready. JM Comics right out the gate. Got it. JM Comics, I'm going to go ahead and write your name down, brother. And if you can go ahead and tell me JM Comics, which 2 books you actually want, I will set those aside for you. And then we will go ahead and John's Comics for Kids is like my official referee. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. All right. So let me know, JM, which 2 books you want, and we will go ahead and set those aside. Tony says, stupid autocorrect. Oh, man. Yeah, brother. Autocorrect and lag are a real thing. So hopefully Jam can give me the 2 books that he wants, and we will set these aside for him and get these all bundled up for him. And then I may end up going again live later tonight. I'm not quite sure. I have a really cool product that I want to share with you guys, and I'm debating whether I do it as a live video or whether I do it as a pre-recorded. And then I also need to figure out if my wife's going to kill me if I lock myself in this room for another hour or so tonight. All right. So JM Comics is going to go, bro, there's like, oh, the ASM with the kangaroo. Okay, hold on. All right, so he is going to go with the kangaroo, and he is going to go with Mystery B. All right. All right, so the one he picked, it's actually a pretty nice book. It may have a slight indentation from having books stacked on it. It can definitely benefit from a press because I haven't done any of that. But he picked Amazing Spider-Man number 81. It's not a bad looking book. It definitely needs a little bit of work, a little bit of love, but it's definitely a pretty nice book. So Amazing Spider-Man number 81, that is book number 9. So if you have book number 9 on your list, please cross it off. And then if you had your way, Chris Bear says, barricade yourself in, that way she can't kill you. Brother, there is no food in this room and I have to eat sooner or later. And the next book he picked was mystery book number B. So if you had 9 or B on your list, please take it off of your list and continue moving down your prioritized list. All right. So book B. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Oh man, he picked 2 good books off the top. So there you go. B is The Amazing Spider-Man #1 and Gibbon. This is the first appearance of the Gibbon. This was actually a donated book. These books actually look pretty good side by side. Well done. Well done. So JM, these are going out to you, brother. Make sure you send me an email to regiecollects@gmail.com so that I can get this stuff bundled up for you and sent out to you. These books are going to JM Comics. That is book number 9 and B. 2 awesome books, one of which features the Gibbon. All right, so those are set aside. Gibbon and Kangaroo, right? I just finished reading Amazing Spider-Man Hunted because I was a little behind on my reading. So with me traveling earlier this week, I spent a lot of time reading. And so I was able to read the entire Hunted series. And if you guys haven't seen this, this is basically where, and I'm not going to give away, a lot of the animal related characters were rounded up. And it was a story arc about these characters. And what's funny is a couple of months ago, I'd actually done a video on all of the animal related characters that were in Spider-Man's universe. And so it was kind of interesting. I got a big kick out of that. All right, so here we go. Chris Barrett says, all the animal characters, bro, there are a lot of them. Let me tell you, there were some in that Hunted series. I was like, that's an actual character? Like, I need to go back and look that one up. All right, so here we go. We are ready. We are 1 question into a total of 7 questions. There are still plenty of really awesome books left on the table for people to win. So here we go with the second question being, what compound is added as a buffer to acid-free boards to counter the acids released over time in comic book paper? Question. What compound is added as a buffer to acid-free boards to counter the acids released over time in comic book paper? Ooh, I am not. Big Will said magic. If you guys had watched one of my videos about comic book protection and about bags and boards, it was definitely in there. What compound is added as a buffer to acid-free boards? Acid-free board wheat germ. Good one, Jason. You guys are hilarious. Victor, that's actually not a bad answer, but that is not it. That is not it. Oh, we are close. Chris Barrett is close. Chris Barrett is super close. So is Christopher J. Christopher J is close as well in a certain kind of way. Chris Barrett, you are getting there. Sid AF says Batwang. No, that is not a compound. You guys are awesome. I knew when I put this one in there, I was like, ooh, this one could be a stumper. This one could be a stumper. And no one's Googled it yet. I mean, we have ample time. Oh man. I did not expect it to be a no, that's a bag, just a little podcast. That is a that's a bag. Cement. You guys are awesome. All right, so here, no one's going to get this one, I don't think. So I'm going to go ahead and give the answer. Wayne McDonald says Batwang. It is bicarb. Bicarb is the compound that is added. If you remember the video that I did on the BCW backing boards, I talked about bicarbonate being a base that essentially neutralizes the acids that are actually contained in them. So no one got that one. No one got that one. So we're going to scratch that. You guys may see that on a future test. So the answer is, John's comic said, Reg for the win. It is bicarbonate. Bicarbonate is a base. Acid is an acid. bicarbonate neutralizes the acidity of paper. And that was put in there for a couple of reasons. One, because there was a video on it, but two, because of the next video that I may do later today is somewhat related to that. So you guys know I operate in story arcs. All right. Yeah. All right. So here we go. We're going to move on. We're going to move on to our next question. Thankfully, I have a backup question because I sort of planned ahead. So hopefully we will have better luck with this next question. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this next question in. At the same time, I'm going to read it off. And if you are ready, we are comic book collectors, not chemists. Oh, Vika, you're a nut. And well said, my friend. Well said. One of the things my wife actually bought me for my birthday was a little AC unit because the AC is on, but it doesn't reach this far back in the house for some stupid reason. So I need to plug this thing in because I'm sweating. All right, so here we go. The third question. This is the third question. It is, who are the so-called Homo superior, not the team, but the group? Who are the so-called Homo superior? Who is Homo superior? It is not a team. It is not a team. Ooh, big wheel. Big Wheel, not a big wheel, but the man known as Big Wheel is the winner. Mutants is the correct answer. Mutants is the correct answer. Oh, wrote that in the wrong place. So Big Wheel, please tell me which answers you want. Or I'm sorry, which books? Big Wheel. Big Wheel. I'm going to type this in here. Somebody said Hercules. Correct is Mutants. Typing this in there so people can actually see that. Big Wheel has selected Wolverine 50 and Mystery A. So we're going to set this aside. He picked the very last book, which is book number 12. Book number 12 is what he has selected. Really cool die cut book here. I think it's in really good shape. I was tempted to keep this one, to be honest with you. I think that's is that on the back or the comic? There may be a little bit of a stain there, Big Will. I apologize, brother. I didn't even see that. And then he picked A. Hopefully A will make up for it. Let's look. Let's see. Maybe. We'll see. You tell me. So Big Will is the recipient of a Gold Key comic. It's a pretty nice book, I think. Could use a clean. It is Magnus the Robot Fighter 4000 AD. This is Magnus the Robot Fighter, a 12-cent gold key comic. This is going to Big Will. So Big Will, congratulations, brother. That is for yours. That is for you. So I'm going to set these two aside for you. Big Will picked 12 and A. 12 and A. 12 and A. Big Will. Congratulations, Big Will. I think that's like the second time or so that you've actually won. So definitely, I think a couple of cool books in there. I think add some golden age. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times. That didn't go so well. That didn't go so well for some people. All right, so I think those were cool books. I think the Wolverine was a cool book, and I think the Gold Key was definitely a cool book as well. So congratulations, brother. Hopefully you enjoy those two books. And again, I think I might have seen a stain on the bottom of that Wolverine. So I apologize for that. Next up, we are going to yeah. All right, so here we go. Let's get this next question fired up. Let's get this next one fired up so that you guys can actually keep this thing moving forward. So again, if you watch the content on the channel, if you are paying attention to what's happening in the comic book world, if you are just a regular old comic book nerd, you can participate in these cool giveaways. So here you go. The very next question is, what was the name of the recently shuttered DC Comics imprint publishing house? What was the name of the recently shuttered DC Comics imprint? What was the name? Again, we make these pretty darn easy, I think. Just did a video on it. And the winner is Candy Graham Man. Candy Graham Man always wins. Candy Graham Man. Someone asked for a DC question, and there you go. That was your DC question. Let me type correct. So, Candy Graham Man, please tell me which two books you want, brother, and I will set those aside for you. Vertigo. So I have to put this in here for some of our subscribers who actually cannot hear. They actually benefit from us posting the questions up and then also telling them what the answer is. So that's part of the reason why I do that, because again, it's all about having people be able to participate in the things that we do here on the channel. All right. So Candy Graham Man has selected a pretty cool book. He picked Amazing Spider-Man number 74. This is book number 11. So if you have book number 11 on your list, go ahead and remove that from your list. And then he also selected C. So he has selected the last mystery book. Oh man, this is actually cool. This is actually cool. And this is a donated book. This is a donated book. All right, so here we go. This is I'll take stamps for 4,000. So what he selected was a pretty cool book. It is a Warlock special edition. This one is actually signed. I think that is Ron Lim's signature. This was actually a book that was donated by a subscriber of the channel who sent me one signed book and sent me another one to give away. So this is the book. It is Warlock special edition signed by Ron Lim. It does not come with a certificate of authenticity, but it is a pretty darn cool book. And it's a nice looking book, I have to tell you. It has two creases over here that might be pressable. I see a third one up top, but it's a pretty nice book. So congratulations to you for that, Candy Graham Man. Those are your two books. I'm gonna set these aside. So again, if you are one of the winners of these books, make sure you send me an email to reggiecollects@gmail.com. And again, I want to thank everyone that has donated books and or cash to the channel for me to be able to do stuff like this. I definitely appreciate you guys taking, money out of your own pockets and comics out of your collections to send over for me to be able to share with other people. I absolutely appreciate it. So Candy Graham Man is our big winner. So quick rundown. These are the books that have already been pulled away. If some people are joining late, books 9 and B, 12 and A, 11 and C. Those are the 6 books that have been depleted from the inventory. So we still have a healthy number of books left, and we still have a handful of questions left. I can't remember. You might be right, because when he sent me the books, he had books. JM Comics is making a comment here. The books that he sent me were signed by Ron Lim and Jim Starling, and by looking at the SIGs, you could read them kind of sort of because of the spacing, but it's been like a couple of weeks since I've looked at them. So it could be either one. So you have my apologies, but there is a video on the channel somewhere recently in like the last month or so where I unbox those things and show you. And I think I actually got them correct in that video. So you have my apologies, but Candy Graham Man, you got a signed book, brother. So hopefully you enjoy those. All right. All right, so let's get ready for the next one. We are down to question number 5. And I think these are good questions. I think they're good. Again, not really designed to stump anybody, except for that second one, kind of, sort of. All right, so here we go. This next one, I think, is a easy one for people to be able to get, I do believe. And the question is, the Baxter Building is home to what superhero team? The Baxter Building is home to what superhero team? Sorry, I was trying to drink there while I thought I had a moment. John's Comics with Kids, you are correct, sir. Well done. John's Comics with Kids is on it. He is seeing the same thing I am, possibly because he's also in California. And by the time it bounces wherever it's supposed to go, he and I see it together. Simon Comics is the winner. Simon Comics is the winner. So we're going to type in correct is FF. Simon Comics is the winner. I think you are maybe a 2 or 3 time winner. So congrats on that, brother. You can't fool Simon Comics. Brother is a beast, is what John says. So congratulations to you, brother. Louise says, I read too slow. I don't know if he's talking about me or himself. All right. So Simon Comics, please tell me which 2 books you want, and I will set those aside for you, brother. Yeah, man, the just a little podcast is making the point about it's really tough on the phone. There is no doubt about it. And what we've actually done is I've actually looked at a couple of different options for of technology for hopefully making it easier on folks. And what I've encountered is that if it's something out there, then it works for one person, but not another. You know, I found a solution that worked great for Macs, but not for PCs. One that worked for PCs, but not Macs. One that worked for desktops and tablets, but not cell phones. And so that is definitely the challenge. And I know that you're not complaining, and that wasn't intended to be that, your comment or mine. It was designed to give a little bit of context for, I want more people to participate, and I will continue to look for options that enable more people to actually participate. So Simon Comics has picked books number 2 and number 4. So let me write that down. Simon Comics is taking 2 and 4. So which ones are those? Oh, he took that one. That's a dope book. That's a dope book. I was tempted to keep this one myself, to be honest with you. I was tempted. This one can definitely use a clean, but this is a cool book. This is a cool book. This is the $6 Million Man. Gorgeous yellow cover. I definitely dig this book from Charlton Publications or Charlton Comics. This is a really cool book. This is book number 2. So if that was on your list, definitely scratch that one off. And then he also picked Commandy, the Last Boy on Earth, book number 4. So definitely 2 really cool books there. Congratulations, Simon Comics. I will set these aside for you. Those are cool. I dig those. So we still have a healthy number of books left, and still a couple of outstanding questions. And so Harvey Abel says he forgot to make a list. Yeah, it happens, brother. Trust me. Chris Barrett says he only plays by phone. Yeah, man, it's tough. All right. So let me scroll down here. This next one, I think, is going to be an easy one. And I've spoken about this character a couple of times because I dig the TV show. Ooh, that was a great hint. Wow. All right. So here we go. The next question. What city does Green Arrow protect? What city does Green Arrow protect? What city? Ooh, does spelling count? Does spelling count? Matthew says New York City. Gotham. That is not the correct answer. All right, I think I lost the answer. All right, so even though Kyler cannot spell the word city, joking. Even though he cannot spell, because he spelled it incorrectly, Kyler is indeed the winner with Star City. Star City is the correct answer. Kyler, congratulations. Cyler. Big Will said My Little Pony. That is not the okay, Kyler Cantrell. Kyler, congratulations, brother. Please tell me which 2 books you want. I'm going to type the correct answer. Correct is Star, City. Please tell me which 2 books you want, my good friend, and we will. Harvey Abel says, make my Marvel. Well said, my friend. He wants 1 and 3. So Kyler is going to go with 1 and 3. So I'm going to set those 2 aside. Oh, is 1 gone? Yep, no one's still here. So that's a heavy book. That's a heavy book. Detective Comics is what Kyler has selected. Issue 608, book number 1. So he has that. And then the super hot as of late book. I'm not sure if it's still hot, but when I put it in the stack, it definitely was. This is The Walking Dead, issue number 192. That is book number 3. So Kyler, those are your 2 books. So I'm going to set these aside for you, brother. Congratulations. And again, indeed, if you are one of the winners, First Anarchy, there you go, Whitewell. Thank you, brother. I forgot to put the label on that one, but definitely want to, again, thank everyone for participating. And if you are indeed one of the winners tonight, make sure you send me an email to reggiecollects@gmail.com so that I can get your book sent out to you. And in your email, tell me which 2 books you selected, your government name, and then also your screen name, because sometimes your screen name is different. It makes it easy for me to kind of match things up. So still have a couple of books left. Michael saying, Reggie, I'm loving the Spider-Man slabs on the wall. Whatever happened to the Eternals 1 and 2 that were on the wall, up for sale possibly, or just not on the wall anymore? So most of the things that go on the wall aren't really for sale. Eternals number 1 is right here, and Eternals number 2 is right above it. So those 2 books are still here in the room. I do have a stack of books that are actually for sale right now. I'll show you those because those are actually sitting right here. And then there's one Eternals 1 that's actually being given away, but I have a New Mutants 98 that's for sale. Secret Wars 9.6, that's for sale. And then the last one is Amazing Spider-Man 252. So if anyone's interested in any of these, just hit me up on Instagram or email, and we can certainly have a conversation. Just know that basically my sales price is based upon FMV from Go Collect. So it's relatively straightforward to figure out how much I'm going to charge because it comes right from the most recent sales. All right. So, and again, those two Eternal books are up here. I'm actually getting a stack of Eternal books if the person ever sends them to me. I just picked up a stack of Eternals books, so hopefully those will be coming in sometime soon. So getting ready for the next question. Make sure there's no questions here. Yep. Victor says he wants 2 for my wall. Yeah, brother. That's not going to happen. Thoughts on Amazing Spider-Man 101. If you can find it for a reasonable price, I say go for it. I don't have it just yet because I haven't been able to find it for a fair price. I had a line on one raw the other day, but I felt like it was a little overpriced versus the raw price for 101 online. And so I had to pass on that. At some point, I will get Amazing Spider-Man 101 because it's one of the ones that I'm actually missing. But the problem right now is that there's a healthy amount of hype around that book, and so people are charging a lot for it. And so can I just say I want to send you a letter saying you guys are awesome. You guys, Kingpin Comics is in the house. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you, my man. Shout out to my man, Just the Rican Comics. Rod is an awesome guy who recently sent me a really cool AOK. He just dropped in a super chat. So Dave, Rod, I definitely appreciate that. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, I definitely encourage you to swing by and check him out. He had me on there a couple of weeks ago. We had a good time talking about a Spider-Man book that he ended up sending me. So that I thought that was really cool because he had me read the book. I had to read it digitally because I didn't own it. And then he actually sent me a copy of it. So that was really cool. But Just a Rican and his comics, aka Rod, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for joining the chat. So we have a handful of books left. I think there are 5 books left and only 2 questions left. Just a Rican, he says it was Life Story. Thank you, brother, because you saw I blanked on the name and just kept it moving. Anytime I blank on something, I just use other words and just fill it in and just keep it moving, you know? All right, so here we go. Tammy Walsh says, thanks for all the info. Tammy, you are very welcome. Let's pause. Let's pause. According to Google and according to YouTube, women do not watch this channel. That is the rumor. When you look at my analytics, it says like 1,000% guys. Tammy, I believe you're a woman. According to your name, I want to thank you because again, they say that no women watch the channel, and I know that that's just not true. So thank you for joining and hanging out just a little bit. We have a couple of questions left, so good luck to everyone as we continue to work our way through some of these. She says, I am a woman. John, your wife needs her own profile, brother. I need to get my scores up. Okay. They make it feel like the women don't like me. That's what it is. She's not the first woman here. She's not the first woman. Rye says his girl watches too. There you go. Oh, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. I know that there's a lot of women that watch it, but when you look at the stats, it's like, yeah, women don't like your channel. So, all right. So here we go. The next question that we have on the table for all of you, I'm not repeating that, Wayne McDonald, but it's funny. Wayne is awesome. He's my Canadian brother. All right, so here we go. Here we go. The next question is, what was the name of Superman's dog? What was the name of Superman's dog? JM Comics says, does it help if I wear a wig? No, brother. It makes it a whole different kind of party. Oh my goodness, Harvey, you are a nut. It is not Astro Chris Barrett, not even close. Greek Freak says dog. Isaac is the winner. I am sweating profusely now. All right, Isaac is the winner. The correct answer is crypto. Crypto is the correct answer, and Isaac is the correct answerer. So please let me know which 2 books you want, and I will set those aside for you. Let me know. And who was that? I need to scroll up because I didn't write the name down. That's not a good thing. That could come back to haunt me. John's Comments with Kids. Thank you, brother. I saw your response in there. Thank you for helping me out with this stuff. It makes my life just a little easier if I have someone else to kind of help out. So let me know which two books. He wants 7 and 10. 7 and 10. Those are the two books, 7 and 10, both really cool books. So he picked up a couple of spine ticks on this one, but it's still a nice book. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 307, featuring the ever creepy chameleon. This is book number 7. Really cool book, part of the Todd McFarlane run. So Isaac, there you go. That is yours. And he also picked Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. I picked this book up in Illinois when I was recently traveling down there, featuring some dumb beating up on some Nazis. So there you go. This is book number 10. I will set those two aside for you, brother. So those are yours. One other announcement that I wanted to make here as we continue to move forward, just making sure WW. So a couple other things I want to mention to you guys is that I recently, as of like yesterday, launched a podcast. And one of my goals has always been to kind of do a podcast. And so that's why I've been doing those vlogs that you guys have been listening to over the last couple of weeks and months. I recently went ahead and pulled the trigger on the vlog thing. So I have four podcast episodes that have been posted up. I put a link on the community tab. So if you guys get a chance, check that out. I've actually submitted the 4 episodes to iTunes, Google Play, and a couple of other podcast subscription services. Don't know what's going to happen with them, but I want to try to give this whole podcast thing a chance. And if it takes off, if it does well, I'll probably produce more content and load it over there. Still dedicated to YouTube, still my jam. But I think the podcast is really cool, especially for those people, like I've spoken about before, those guys that drive the big rigs, the folks that work the late shifts and the third shifts and all that kind of stuff, giving them a little something too, where they don't have to watch. They can just put it on their headphones or play it on the whatever they play it on and actually just listen to it. So if you guys get a chance, hit that up and subscribe if you can. So I definitely appreciate that. All right, so there we go. Of course, my screen shows my first, but I understand. Yep. Oh, so Whitewell says, I'll get it for sure. He says he did a podcast a couple of years ago and he got approved. So I should be good. Fingers crossed, brother. Fingers crossed. I know Big Will's making fun of me. He says, dude, you've been at 3.9 thousand or 100 subscribers for a while. Yeah, I've been stuck there for a while. And I think part of it was because whenever I do a lot of content and like do live streams and stuff like that, a lot more people actually follow. But because I was kind of gone for a couple of days and didn't go live all last week, pretty much, I think, or this week, it's been a little slower, but fingers crossed that we will actually exceed that 4,000 mark really soon, because we are close. We are so close. So to that point of Big Will, if you are watching this right now, either in the room live or you are watching this thing on replay and you have yet to subscribe to the channel, I definitely want to encourage you to actually hit the subscription button so that, you know, I can get to 4,000 subs. I mean, I don't know how that helps you, but it absolutely helps me. All right, so here we go. Hopefully this format's okay. Hopefully it formats okay. One sec. This one is this one's a bit much. White Whale says he is closing in on 1K. So I'm gonna tell you right now, White Whale is one of my original dudes. I'm gonna tell you right now, I have been a fan of this guy's content, his personality, his attitude. Same with John's Comments with Kids. Just two awesome dudes. So if you're not following these two dudes, I definitely want to encourage you to do so, because they're putting out really good stuff. White Whale's been doing these auctions as of late, which I think is really cool. But he also just puts out great content. John's Comments with Kids, both of these guys are moderators for a reason. John's Comments with Kids he's been doing this this Saturday morning thing with his daughters for a while, which I really appreciate because it pulls the family in, and I love that aspect of it. His girls are much more charismatic than he, but he still puts out good content. The really cool thing about him is he recently started this series called The Starting Line, which I love because it basically says, hey, if you're new to comics, newly returning to comics, you just want to start with a new character, here's the character and here's where you should start. I think that's helpful, especially when you look at 80 years of comics, you don't know where to start. He is actually giving you a starting point for these characters, and the series is fantastic. Check it out. I'm telling you. Darth says he just subscribed to both. Thank you, brother, because you will not regret that. You will not regret it. I promise you that. All right, so let me go ahead and get this thing set up. Hopefully this thing form out. It didn't. Of the 90s Valiant characters, which was an original Valiant creation? Dr. Solar, Magnus, Man of War, or Turok? Of the 90s Valiant characters, which one was an original Valiant character? I totally jacked that one up. I apologize. Oh, and White Whale with the buzzer beater. Bro, I don't think you can actually win because I just gave you like a big thumbs up. I don't think you can actually win now. No, White Well actually got it. White Well got it. It is it. Richard Scranton says, "A, the Gibbon." So the correct answer is Exo Man of War. Exo Man of War is actually the only original character of the ones that I just mentioned. They actually licensed those other characters. I can't even remember from who. I can't even remember who they licensed them from. But White Whale probably knows. Alec probably knows. But they licensed those other characters probably from Gold Key, maybe. Hence the Gold Key book that I just showed. But it is Exo Man of War. That was the one character. Oh, White Whale. That's what's up. White Whale. So Vika, no, Greg just confirmed that it was Key Comics that they actually licensed the characters from. White Whale, being the person that he is actually passing his winnings to the next person. So John, if you can help me with that, I'm scrolling up through the names. White Whale got C, and then Chris Barrett. I think Chris Barrett is the next one. Chris Barrett was the next one with XO. He, instead of spelling out like Fantastic Four, he actually just went with the two letters. So Chris Barrett, you are indeed the winner of the very last question, and a little bit of sportsmanship to my man White Whale Comics. So there you go. Chris Barrett, please let me know which two books you want. There are 3 left, my friend. So let me know which 2 you want. Yeah, he is White Whale is just a good guy, dude. He's just a good guy. Wait, what? What happened? What? What happened? What happened? All right. So, Chris, Chris, let me know which 2 books you want, brother, so I can set those aside for you. The books that are left are 8, 6, and 5. Those are the 3 books that are left. CLRG Comics Plus says he wishes he had come earlier. It's all good, brother. It is all good. Might have been a little bit of confusion there. I think we are good. I think we're good. That was the bonus question. Gold Gauntlet, Chris. Gold Gauntlet Comics. Sorry about that. All right. So Chris is selecting the annual and the second Deadpool. So he is going to go with Amazing Spider-Man number 23 annual and X-Force number 2, second appearance of Deadpool. That was book number 6. So let me write those 2 down. Chris Barrett is going with 8 and 6. So I will set those aside. And again, if you are one of tonight's winners, send me an email to regiecollects@gmail.com with your screen name, your government name, and your mailing address so that I can get everything bundled up and sent out to you. Everything is actually going to be sent out in Gemini shippers and first class mail, and I will do it just as soon as I can. So there you go. And again, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone out there that participated and that donated. If you are interested in supporting the channel, there are some links within the description of the video that you can click on and, make a donation or whatever it happens to be. If you want to send books in, just reach out to me via email or direct message. If you want to buy books, you can also do the same thing. But I want to, again, thank everyone that has supported the channel, as well as those that just watch, right? Because you don't have to give. That is not what this is about. But a lot of people reach out to me and say, how can I donate or whatever it is? I want to make mention of that. But again, huge shout out to my man Vika. And it's pretty good when Vika, who has not participated in these things, actually starts guessing some questions, because I think he wanted some of the books. All right. So if you guys haven't checked out some of the videos that I released this week, I definitely want to encourage you to do so, because there are some cool books that are still up available that will be given away tomorrow. This is Eternals #1, some Jack Kirby goodness. This book will be given away tomorrow, and it is not too late to enter the contest. And again, shout out to Go Collect for putting us in a position to be able to give this stuff away. So there you go. If you guys need to reach me, feel free to do so at Regie Collects on Instagram and regiecollects@gmail.com. And congrats to all of the winners. And I'll be looking for you all's email so that I can get this stuff bundled up and sent out to you. White Whale Comics, John's Comics with Kids, Wayne McDonald, thank you for being my moderators here in the room and keeping me on the straight and narrow. Take care, everyone.